All right, Joyce Brown is here now, along with one of her lawyers, Norman Siegel. Now, Miss Brown, you say the only thing that was wrong with you when they picked you up was that you were homeless.
Yes.
Now, I used to walk by you every day, almost every day, during the, what, 2 years that you were on the street? A year and a half?
Year and a half.
On that street corner.
Right.
Now, you used to talk to yourself. I used to try and give you money. Sometimes you'd take it, sometimes you'd set it on fire. You used to run out on 2nd Avenue in front of the cars.
That's not true.
Almost some crashes. Now, I saw this. You used to go to the bathroom on the sidewalk. You would defecate on the sidewalk. You would urinate on the sidewalk. The stench from there was terrible. And you're saying the only thing wrong with you was that you were homeless?
Yes, that is correct. The reason why I urinated on the sidewalk was because I had nowhere to go. I did not have access to bathrooms and restaurants, and that was the only place I could go.
Burning money is the sign of a normal person?
It all depends on the manner in which it's given to you.
I don't understand that.
Well, people would throw money at me. I never saw you giving me anything.
I don't even think you remember me coming by there.
Yes, I do. I know who you are. And I never saw you go by me. I never talked to you.
You may know who I am now, but I'm telling you, back then, you were a mess. You were in big trouble. And I'm betting that if the city didn't do what they did for you, that you might have been dead by now. You might have frozen to death.
No, I would not,
you were
because
totally incapable of taking care of yourself.
I had found a hot air vent in which I was warm. I was better off than some people who were in apartments with no heat, and I would not have been dead. I was not in any medical bad condition when I arrived at the hospital. I was in good health. And
your own sister said that you were crazy. Your own sisters wanted you put away for a while.
Yes, they did.
Your own family.
And I don't have anything to do with my sisters. I don't talk to them. I don't want them around me. And so you can understand why they feel that way.
Norman, you must be, I guess you're proud of yourself.
Sure. I think that...
Did you see the condition she was in when they first brought her in?
I saw her...
You saw her sometime after that, right?
I saw her a couple of days afterwards. One of the lawyers, Rob Levy, went there the next day, and we've taken the position. I disagree with your statements before. Joyce Brown, from the day I saw her, was articulate and lucid. And the challenge for government is to make sure that the choice for homeless people...
Well, your definition of articulate and lucid is certainly a lot different than mine. I mean, like I said, I walked by her on the street, and she was a disaster.
Fortunately, we have courts...
She was or where she was.
Fortunately, we have courts of law in this country who will listen to testimony. 2 judges heard...
But they didn't see her on the sidewalk. They didn't see her on the street.
Let me interrupt for a minute. I talked to Pat Harper from Channel 4 News several times while I was on the street.
Well, you had good days and bad days. Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying that you were completely insane.
I had friends.
But you weren't capable of taking care of yourself. I had friends
that I talked to, doctors and lawyers, nurses.
Well, everybody has their own opinion, but
every day.
From my viewpoint, the city did you an awful lot of good.
They would not
you were
have
1,000% better than what you were then.
They would not have talked to me every day.
Norman,
if there was something wrong with me.
You talk about the homeless rights, right? The people,
sure.
the right to live on the sidewalk. What about the rights of people like me who walk past the people who are urinating and defecating on the sidewalk? Do I have the right? As I'm a taxpayer in this town. Do I not have the right not to have to put up with that?
I think
my rights?
Under the existing law, if someone urinates or defecates on the street, it's a violation of the sanitation code, and they can give out a summons. But the real issue is that the choice should not be for people to be out on the streets or locked up at Bellevue. Government officials must come to the realization that they have to create the alternatives. Joyce Brown has become a symbol of the failure of government to provide adequate low-income housing.
Joyce Brown is a symbol of a city at least trying to do something.
I disagree with that. The program, I think, is not helping homeless. It's a diversion. We have thousands of homeless people. The government diverts the public attention and does not focus in on their failure to provide low-income housing. The people out on the streets would jump at the opportunity, John, if there were viable options. Shelters are not homes.
I still say that this woman is alive today because the city put her...
No,
we disagree with that.
While I was in the hospital, I did not receive any care from them. I didn't receive medical care.
You refused medical care. You didn't want any treatment.
If I was so ill to the point where I didn't know what I was doing or talking about.
Did any of this time in the
hospital?
hospital, Joyce, cost you a penny? All the
Never
food?
mind the amount of
Now,
money.
wait a second. Did it cost you any money?
We're not talking about money.
Aren't you better off now than what you were 3 months ago?
Care to the point where that I am.
Aren't you better off now than you were 3 months ago?
We're not talking about money. No,
Aren't you better off than you were 3 months ago?
I didn't receive any care while I was there.
You're not a better person than you were 3 months ago,
I'm the
Joyce?
same person
Come on
that I
now.
was 3 months ago.
You look a lot better to me.
Why? Because I have a clean sweater on
No, because you
that
can
makes
talk.
my mind better?
Because you're making sense
No,
when you talk.
I made
You
sense
didn't do that before.
Look,
No, you
I
didn't.
made sense before
No, you didn't,
when I
sweetheart.
first went on the street, and when they picked me up, I made sense. As you can see,
You're a lot
I
better
am
off today than
now
what you were
free,
then.
and if I was in
are you
need
planning a
of
lawsuit against the city?
emergency
You're gonna sue the city
care,
for
we're not talking about suits. I want to tell you about how I feel about
Are you planning a lawsuit?
I find your questions to be not focused, and I find you to be somewhat hostile towards Joyce.
That's right.
There were plenty of people
Absolutely
who passed
hostile.
her during that period of time who were prepared to testify and were prepared to file affidavits. We've talked with a lot of those people, and if that's your
I would
personal
have testified
opinion...
personally the other way
If I knew
to
I
help
was
her.
going to be attacked by you, I
Oh,
would
I'm
never
not
have come
attacking you.
on.
Please
I've
don't
never
say
come
that.
on your show.
I'm not attacking
yes,
you.
you have. You
No,
said I
I'm
was
just trying-
insane while I was on the
I'm
street.
saying- and-
I talked
and you
to
appear to
myself.
have-
I
you appear to-
urinated on the street.
That's right.
I told you
did.
the reason why. And
Oh,
I
okay.
never saw you at all when I was on the street.
I didn't think you would have remembered.
Why wouldn't I? I know
All
who
right,
you
we
are.
have to go. I'm sorry. We do have, we're out of time. We'll be back with more news right after this.
Channel 5's popular news anchorman John Roland has been temporarily suspended. Roland admitted on air his emotions prevailed over his objectivity Tuesday night in an interview with